Greetings! On behalf of YTM, welcome aboard. Enjoy your flight.
If you love to travel and want to stay in the loop with all the latest tips, reviews, and updates, be sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like and share. We do appreciate the support. And here was our flight for the day, a 7-hour flight from Haneda Airport in Tokyo to Changi Airport in Singapore. And we'll be flying on ANA's 787 in Premium Economy. And after the wonderful ANA's 777 Premium Economy flight we had, I was very optimistic about this one. Now we were ready to head to the airport for our about 3,200-mile flight to Singapore. And fortunately, we were heading to Haneda, the easier of the two major airports to get to from the city center. And there are quite a few options to get there from the city, depending on your budget and comfort threshold. Here are a few of your options. We'll go into more details on these on our Tips of Japan video. We used the airport limousine bus for transit both to and from the airport. We felt it was our best option as it was close to where we were staying, and it's fairly inexpensive. We were able to purchase our tickets right at the Shibuya Mark City station. The bus was very clean and it was a comfortable ride. The main reasons we took the bus are that it was close to where we were staying, it's inexpensive, and unlike some of the trains, it was a direct ride right to the airport. Now let's take a little look into ANA's check-in process. And since we've dealt with ANA in the past, their check-in process is generally seamless as ANA is usually very organized. But remember, Premium Economy and Economy passengers have to check in on the same line. That might put off some people, but it didn't really bother us. The line moved pretty quickly. And remember, you can check in at the counter, at a kiosk, or online, depending on your situation, of course. Economy and Premium Economy passengers both have the same baggage allowance, but I always like to check my booking or with the airline just to confirm that. Now, your baggage allowance can also change if you have certain status with ANA or a certain status with Star Alliance. And throughout the video, we'll also highlight certain advantages to booking Premium Economy with ANA. One such advantage is your bags will be tagged with a priority baggage tag. Ours were, and our bags did arrive a little earlier than most on the carousel. Another advantage to booking Premium Economy, and one of my favorites, is you have lounge access. As long as you're flying on ANA, and there's an ANA lounge at the airport you're departing from. So after checking in, we made our way to the ANA Business Lounge in Terminal 2. It was a great place to spend 2 hours eating, drinking, and relaxing before our flight. And we have a full review on this lounge. I'll add the link below. This lounge is clean and big with a lot of seating options. And we both took advantage of the lounge's showers. They are free and pretty much had all the amenities you would need. Now, I wouldn't say they had a large food selection, but the food they did have was quality. They also had a bar, which is a nice feature. And they really did have a wide array of drinks to choose from. But my own personal favorite, and I take advantage of this every time I see it in a lounge, is my own personal beer tender. Now let's take a little look at ANA's boarding process. As I take a quick look at my phone, I could see that we're boarding out of gate 72, which is very convenient as it's a short walk from the lounge. And as we arrive at the gate, we can see our plane is already here, which is typically a good sign. They weren't quite ready to board yet, so we took a seat and waited for our group to be called. And at our gate, there were plenty of seating options where you can sit and charge your devices. And if you're a little hungry or thirsty, they had these vending machines close by with some unique and interesting options. And I found this reconstituted flying counter at the gate. It's very cool. And now I think it's time to take a glance at the big board. In English, please. Perfect. It looks like our flight is now boarding and is on time. It was very organized as everyone gathered around the gate and waited for their group to be called. Now, their boarding process is slightly different than some other airlines. First, they have pre-boarding passengers, which is standard in most airlines. Then Group 1 is first class and diamond members. Group 2 is business class and the members shown here. And here's where it differs slightly. Groups 3, 4, and 5 cover both premium economy and economy passengers. Group 3 are window seat passengers. Group 4 are middle seat. And Group 5, which I was, are aisle seat passengers. And as you can see, there are 3 boarding lines. Groups 3, 4, and 5 all seem to be encompassed under Group 3. So premium economy and economy passengers do get on the same line, unless you have a certain status, of course. But that didn't bother us, as the lines moved fairly quickly, and soon enough, we were boarding the ANA 787 to Singapore. Let's take a look. As we boarded the plane, we only had to make our way through the smaller business cabin before we arrived at where we'll be spending the next 7 hours or so, our ANA premium economy seat, bulkhead style. Now we had to wait a little extra time before we took off. I think that might have had something to do with the heavy rains in Tokyo that night, but we finally received clearance and had a smooth takeoff. Now let's take a look at our seats. As per ANA's website, you get a fairly good idea of what to expect from your premium economy seat on your 787 flight. And as we take a closer look at the seat map, there are 2 business class cabins, and sandwiched between the business class and economy is our premium economy in a 2x3x2 configuration. We had row 15, seats A and C, and as we had the bulkhead seats, we had a little more space to stretch out. And remember, since you share the bathroom with the economy passengers, your first available bathroom is here, towards the rear of the first economy cabin. And we'll give you a little closer look into the bathrooms later in the video. And here we are at our seats, row 15, seats A and C. These premium economy seats had a nice size and were pretty comfortable, but I feel these seats were a step down from the premium economy seats in ANA's 777. They were pretty sweet. The headrests on these seats were fine, they had some cushion to them. And we had a universal port in between the seats, which was convenient. Although I think this port has seen better days, but that didn't matter, it worked just fine. And fortunately, in premium economy, there is no fighting over the armrest, as everyone gets their own. And since we're in the bulkhead seat and don't have the traditional seat back tray table, our tray table is easily removed from the armrest. You could have it in half size or in full size. It's a nice sized tray table with some range of motion. But my favorite part was this little tray in between the seats where you can put your drink if you have to get up and stretch or use the restroom. I used it a few times throughout the flight. It was very convenient. But there's one more little surprise for you. Wait for it. An even smaller little tray that pops out. I'm not really sure what it's used for, but I liked it. You also had your personal gooseneck lamp, conveniently placed between the seats, and your IFE remote, which I didn't really use as my monitor was so close to my seat, but it's nice to have. And next to the remote, you have your seat recline button to get a little more comfortable. And on the other side of the seat, you have these 2 buttons. The one on the left is to control your comfortable footrest. And since you're in the bulkhead seat, you don't have a seat back monitor, so you have to hit the button on the right to release the swing arm for the TV. Now, this is a minor inconvenience, but considering the amount of space you have in the bulkhead seat, I think it's worth it. As you can see, you have a single jack for your audio. Some ANA flights use the double plug for audio, but this worked out fine since the headphones they provided were single jack, as well as my Bose noise-canceling earbuds that I carry with me, so no issues here. In addition to your personal gooseneck lamp, you have the standard overhead lights. And what is noticeably missing are the air vents. Some people might have an issue, as they do like to control the airflow at their seats. But since they kept the cabin quite comfortable for the duration of our flight, this was a non-issue for us. But one of the things we do like is that we have not 1, but 2 windows to enjoy the view. Now they have these buttons to control the level of shade in the window. Now I've used them before on other airlines. I'm on the fence with these, but I do think I prefer them over the traditional window shades. When we arrived at our seat, I saw this monitor on the wall. I wasn't quite sure if this was our TV monitor or not. It turns out it wasn't, but on our ANA 777 Premium Economy flight, we did have this incredible monitor mounted on the wall. That really was a good one. But our monitor on the wall was basically there to show information about the flight throughout the flight. Now let's take a little closer look at ANA 787's IFE system. Like we had mentioned earlier, since you're in the bulkhead seat, you'll have to hit the button on the right to release the arm for the TV monitor. And this really isn't that much of an inconvenience, as the arm is pretty easy to move, and you do have a little more flexibility than you would if the monitor was in the seat back position. And of course, before we dive into the IFE system, we'll sit through ANA's safety video. ANA typically has a very solid IFE system with a lot of great content. Now let's take a deeper dive into ANA's own Sky Channel system and see what they have to offer. They usually have a wide array of movies, as well as some great new releases. I think I watched 1.5 to maybe 2 movies on this flight. And I should mention there is a USB port on the TV to charge your devices. It's very convenient. And of course, they have a short list of Japanese movies in case you want to watch a local favorite. And next you had your Sky Live TV channels. And the Sky Shop. Not that we ever use it, but we'll show you it anyway. ANA original programming, in case you're into that. And seat-to-seat messaging. I guess if you're traveling with a family or a group and they're scattered throughout the plane, it helps you stay in contact. And I guess it's better than yelling over the seats. You have your kids section and an info page, which, believe it or not, could actually come in handy sometimes. And the map, I always like to look at a few times throughout the flight, just to see where I am in the world. And last but not least, we have our ebook section. And depending on what you decide to watch, you might have a few different options for audio tracks and subtitles. Now we'll take you on a quick tour of ANA's 787's onboard Wi-Fi system. On this flight, we did not use the onboard Wi-Fi. We were a little busy eating, drinking, sleeping, filming. But we'll take you through the step-by-step process on setting up, connecting, selecting a plan, and paying if need be for this system. Now let's take a look at ANA's 787's amenities. Even though in Premium Economy they do not offer you an amenity kit, they do offer you some amenities. Let's take a look. When you arrive at your seat, you'll have a soft and comfortable pillow waiting for you. I used it throughout the flight. I had no complaints. You also have a blanket wrapped in plastic waiting at your seat as well. This blanket is very soft and comfortable, but a little thin. So if you tend to get cold during a flight, this might not keep you warm. But since the cabin was kept really comfortable throughout the flight, this was a non-issue. And since we're in the bulkhead seat, we do not have a seat back pocket. We have this basket bin to house our stuff and some of our amenities. First off, you have your 787 safety guide. And one thing I should point out about the bulkhead seats is that you cannot have any bags or backpacks on the floor during takeoff or landing. Some people might find that an inconvenience, as they like to have constant access to their stuff, but it was a non-issue for us. Now we'll take a closer look at each one of the amenities provided. First, you have your one-size-fits-all slippers, and they were pretty comfortable. I'm not saying I'd go out and purchase a pair of them, but I did like them and wore them for most of the flight. You also get your ANA inscribed shoehorn. It's a nice touch. They also provide you with a set of A&A headphones. These headphones are single jack headphones, and I'd say the overall quality of these were okay, and they worked fine. But I have to say, these are probably a step down from the headphones we received on our ANA 777 Premium Economy flight. The sound and build quality of those were actually pretty good. And let's not forget about the last item in our basket, the waterproof disposable bag, just in case you need it. So, about this time in the flight, I wanted to sit back, relax, enjoy my very comfortable seat, and fully stretch out in all that space the bulkhead provides, and I was feeling pretty good about my seat. But then I made the cardinal error of premium economy: never look behind the curtain. But the damage had already been done. I saw what I was missing. But fortunately, on cue, the flight attendant came along and closed the curtain between business class and premium economy. Thank you. Now let's take a look at our food and drink options for this flight. And remember, as a premium economy passenger, you get enhanced service in both drinks and snacks. Lily enjoyed some of the wine options, and I enjoyed a sake or two. And soon after reaching cruising altitude, they started beverage service. And then about an hour into the flight, this mystery bag suddenly appeared at my seat. Let's take a look what's inside. We had a bottle of water. They also had these pretzels that were actually kind of tasty. And last was this bag of cookies. What I liked about them was they weren't too sweet, so I had a few. And what complements pretzels and cookies better than a good quality sake? It was quite tasty. Now that we had some food and drinks, I think it's time we checked out the bathrooms. Remember, you'll be sharing the bathrooms with the economy passengers, and these bathrooms were about average size for an economy bathroom. They were clean, well-stocked, and you even had a baby changing table, which is an added convenience. Now, don't get me wrong, these bathrooms were perfectly fine, but in no way did they compare to the ginormous economy bathroom we used in ANA 777, and I think this bathroom was actually larger than some Tokyo hotel rooms. As I exited the bathroom, I noticed they had turned down the lights, getting everyone into sleep mode. So I made my way through the economy cabin, up into premium economy, and back to my seat, where I can rest, relax, and hopefully get some sleep. I wasn't that optimistic, as I don't really sleep well on planes. But I tried. I closed my eyes, and I ended up sleeping about 45 minutes or so, which is pretty normal for me. And about an hour and a half before landing, they came around with the breakfast menu, and we both chose option A, salmon flakes and egg strips over steamed rice. The picture just looked a little more appealing than the chicken with cream sauce, and our breakfast arrived not too long after. And for the big reveal, now the main dish was pretty good. We both actually enjoyed that. As far as the rest of the menu, the fruit was fresh. This middle item here wasn't really my thing, and actually the salad was pretty tasty. And accompanying our meal, we received some A&A engraved silverware, a pair of chopsticks, and some salad dressing. So overall, I feel this meal was a little better than most economy meals I get on flights, but not really close to a business class meal experience. And some other airlines do step it up for their premium economy meals. Just something to keep in mind. So after we finished our meal, it looked like we were preparing for landing a little early in Changi Airport. Welcome to Changi Airport, Singapore. They really have streamlined the process for entering the country. It's quick and usually pretty seamless. And this airport is usually ranked near the top for best airports in the world, with its centerpiece, the Jewel, and the largest indoor waterfall in the world. It's quite impressive to see up close. Make sure to check out our video on best things to do in Changi Airport, both paid and free, like seeing a free movie. We did, or at least part of one. Now, if you arrive early for your flight or have a long layover, have no fear. There are no shortage of activities to keep you occupied at this truly incredible airport. Before we go, we'll give you a small taste of what this beautiful country has to offer. We have a video out of top 10 sights to see in Singapore, as well as top tips for visiting. Check them out if you're interested. Singapore is an interesting, beautiful, and unique country, and definitely an unforgettable experience. And here's some final thoughts on our ANA 787 Premium Economy flight. Here are some things you might like. The seats were quite comfortable. The service, as usual with ANA, is top-notch, but I think the key factor for us was access to the premium lounges. And as far as things you might not like, I think the main issue here might be the meals, as you pretty much get the same meal as the economy passengers. Although the meals are better than your average economy meal, some other airlines do step up their meals for premium economy. When weighing the pros and cons, we would absolutely fly ANA's 787 Premium Economy again. I hope this helps you the next time you fly ANA. Safe travels. If you love to travel and want to stay in the loop with all the latest tips, reviews, and updates, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like and share. We do appreciate the support.